In every neighborhood in America, we got a word for the man who's winning, the one who's holding all the chips, the one who can do what nobody else can do and walk away clean. We call it the trump card, the ace in the hole, the advantage you keep tucked up your sleeve. We put his name in our music, we put his face on our whole idea of rich. We turn a man into a metaphor. But here's the thing about a metaphor. You don't elect a metaphor. You don't hand a symbol the keys to the free world. So tonight, we talk about the difference between admiring the shine and trusting the man holding the flashlight, between the legend and the leader. This is Rugged Talk.
New way, South Carolina raised me. The struggle gave me vision. Every scar on my back became a part of my mission. They locked brothers up and forgot them in the system. I said not on my watch. Started RPRF to lift them. Safe harbor for the women, second chances for the men. Rugged paths don't define you, you can rise again. This is Rugged Talk. No filter, no facade, just a man and a mic and the truth of where we are. Rugged Talk. Culture, community, real. If you lived it, you know it. This is how it feels. Play ball.
Let me ask you something before we even start. How did a man go from being a punchline in our rap songs to being the president of the United States of America? See, the wildest part about Trump isn't that America voted for him. It's that the culture spent 30 years teaching itself what he represented first. See, before he was Mr. President, he was slang. He was a metaphor for money, a metaphor for winning. The ace you pulled when you wanted people who you had the upper hand. We didn't make him a symbol because we trusted him. We made him a symbol because we liked the way winning looked on him. You know what's crazy? I understand the fascination. I really do. Because when you come from places when one mistake follows you forever, watching somebody survive everything almost feel inspirational for a second. That's not politics. That's survival psychology. So somewhere between the music and the ballot box, the country confused one for the other. Tonight, we're going to tangle all of that. Buckle up. First, it's the word itself, trump card. In a card game, the trump card is the one that beats everything else on the table. The unbeatable move, the advantage. In the culture, we took that and we ran with it. Or he pulled out the trump card, meaning he had that thing tucked. He had the upper hand. Now, sit with how loaded that already is. We took a man's last name, a man known for gold buildings and TV catchphrases, and we made it shorthand for being unstoppable. It's not a political endorsement. That's a vocabulary word. There's a difference. So here's what I need you to understand. This is not new, and it's not just us. America has always, and repeat, always fallen in love with the wrong guy. As long as he looked good doing it. The gangster we put on the wall, look at them all. We quote The Godfather at weddings. We binge watch Goodfellas. Tony Soprano, his beloved television character, a man who lied, cheats, and kills, and millions of people rooted for him every single week. And the man who made the blueprint for half of hip-hop, Tony Montana, Scarface, a Cuban refugee who shoots his way to the top of a cocaine empire and dies in the pile of his own greed. We hung the posters in our bedrooms. The world is ours. Everybody had it. But we didn't put Scarface on our walls because we wanted him running the country. We put him up because the world told us we couldn't have nothing, and he took it anyway. The Cowboys and the Kingpin. We can go back further. Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Bonnie and Clyde, bank robbers and killers. And America wrote folk songs about them, made movies, turned criminals into cowboys into heroes. You can go down to Latin America, Pablo Escobar. That man was the plug for the whole damn U.S. damn it. And to this day, they got t-shirts and shows and songs made about him too. Why? Because he also built soccer fields in the slums, and he looked the system in the eye, and in some ways, he also won. Every culture on earth has outlaw fantasies, but loving the legend is not the same as wanting the legend in charge of major decisions in your life. Let's talk specifics because the receipts are long. Donald Trump has been in the rap lyrics since the 1980s. This is documented. You can go look it up for yourself. Beastie Boys in 1989, I think it was, on Paul's Boutique, one of the earliest mentions where they contrast rich Trump with a broke one. Scarface, he touched it in 1991. Diamond D in 1992, he talked about wanting to out-earn the man entirely. E40, he turned the name into a money slang. Jay-Z, he referenced like the hotels. Young Jeezy, he used the name as like shorthand for being the richest man in the room. The most famous one was the late Mac Miller. He had a song called Donald Trump. The song wasn't political, it was aspirational. It was about the lifestyle, not the campaign. The list of folks who have name dropped him reads like a hall of fame. You got like Nas, Raekwon, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, T.I., Gucci Mane, Nelly, Ludacris, Meek Mill, Big Sean, Diddy, Kanye. Even every one of those was a shout out to ourselves, not a campaign nation. When the rapper said Trump money, he wasn't bragging about his pockets. It was a measuring stick, not a hero. It wasn't just the music. He was also in Home Alone too. He had The Apprentice, You're Fired, became a national catchphrase. He showed up in WrestleMania. He sat for a Comedy Central roast where Snoop Dogg tore him a new one, and he just laughed along. It was everywhere where we were entertained. That's the relationship, and that's where it should have stopped. Entertainment. So what happened? Because the same culture that name dropped him for 30 years, they turned on a dime. Well, in 2015, he comes down the escalator and announces he's running. And the very first thing out the gate is the rhetoric about the immigrants. So Kendrick called it the same year. He had a sarcastic little jab in his album on Black Friday with J. Cole. He basically said, you're basically better off running for voting for Trump than messing with me. Even as an insult, you can feel the air kind of changing. Then in 2016, YG and the late great Nipsey Hussle dropped FDT. Yeah, the title is exactly what you think it is. That became the anthem. And that then was the funeral for Trump's hip hop card. And here's the most honest thing anybody said about it. An OG rapper had Trump line in his shows going back in 2008. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, we thought he was just cool. He was an influential business guy. We didn't know who he would turn out to be. Now we cringe when we hear our old verses. And see, that right there is what I've been trying to say the whole episode. See, it wasn't political back then. We admired the brand. We never volunteered for a movement. Here's where I get real with you. Because I think that black folks and white folks have been looking at the exact same man and seeing two totally different people. See, for a lot of us, hey, let's just be honest, what we admired was the nonchalant, the Teflon, the damn audacity. See, here's a man that can say anything, get sued, get caught, get embarrassed, and he's still gonna wake up rich, still untouchable, and still elect president. And if you from where I'm from, that's fascinating. Because I live in a world where you can do one thing wrong and it's gonna follow you for the rest of your life. So watching a man that can do 100 things and lose nothing, that's not politics. That's voodoo or something. I don't know what that is. But here's the dichotomy of this. I don't think that wealthy white people actually admire Trump. I think they tolerate him. I think they use him. See, the country club crowd, the old money, a lot of them, they just get in where they fit in with him. His real ride or die base is the poor white man or the middle class. So those folks, they feel forgotten. And the reason they love him is simple, it's human. See, he looks like me. He says the things I want, but I can't. See, that's how they feel. See, but the very people Trump came up around, That's who he keeps around. So you got one community admiring the audacity from a distance like a car wreck. And you got another community that's feeling personally represented by that same audacity. Same man, two completely different relationships. Okay, so I need you to hear this because this is where the whole thing stops being funny. That fascination, how does he get away with it? That was never really about him. It was about us, about what we don't have. See, we admired a man who could do everything and lose nothing. Then we went home to a system where when we do one thing, we lose everything. Think about it like this. We all got that family member, that Uncle Joe, right? That has done some time, done some dirt back in the day. But now Uncle Joe up, right? He done hit a lick, got him some money on. Got him, he back up, got him a new car, fresh fit, new business. Now you love Uncle Joe. That's your hitter. You and Uncle Joe is always with each other at the cookout, at the barbecue, right? But would you consider Uncle Joe a reasonable candidate for president? Would you hand your Uncle Joe the new codes because he's now successful and got a business? See, loving Uncle Joe at the barbecue and at the cookout and trusting him with the country, those are two different things. And see, that's the mistake the whole nation made. We confused that man we put in our rap songs with the man we could put in the Oval Office. See, the cookout, that's not the cabinet. This whole thing matters to me and why it's rugged talk conversation and not just a hot take. Everything I described, the obsession with the man who gets away with it, is the exact opposite of the world the people I work with live in. See, at RPRF, I sit across from citizens, returning citizens, men and women who have made mistakes, sometimes one mistake, 20, 30 years ago. And the system still won't allow them to rent an apartment today. Won't allow them to get a job today. Won't give them to grace this country hands out to the powerful today. We were never really mad that he got away with it. Deep down, we were just mad that we could never. Because redemption can't be a luxury good. A second chance can't be something you only get if you already had a first, a second, and a third. A Teflon shouldn't be reserved for the rich. That's the whole point of rugged past, righteous future. We're not out here trying to make anybody untouchable. We're trying to make sure that the man who failed, the man with the rugged past, gets a real, honest shot at a righteous future. The same shot the powerful takes for granted. So, the next time you hear his name in an old verse, remember what it really was. Not a vote, not a hero, just a culture doing what the culture does, admiring the shine and dreaming of the come up. The Trump card was always supposed to stay up his sleeve. It was never supposed to sit behind a desk in Washington. Real conversation, rugged roads, righteous future. Check us out. The website, www.ruggedpastrighteousfuture.org. I'm Adrian. Catch you on episode 7. I'm out.
New way, South Carolina raised me. The struggle gave me vision. Every scar on my back became a part of my mission. They locked brothers up and forgot them in the system. I said not on my watch. Started RPRF to lift them. Safe harbor for the women, second chances for the men. Rugged past don't define you, you can rise again. This is rugged talk. No filter, no facade, just a man and a mic and the truth of where we are. Rugged talk, culture, community, real. If you lived it, you know it. This is how it feels. Play